Once upon a time, there were two men who lived in a busy city far away from home. Both men had the same dream. They wanted to reach a beautiful place called Freedom Hill, where their families were waiting for them. It was the kind of place people talked about with a smile in their eyes. The air was peaceful there. The meals were long there. Children laughed there. Husbands and wives had time for one another there. No one rushed there. No one woke up dreading the day there. It was the place where people finally stopped struggling just to survive and started living. To get there, each man was given enough resources to choose a vehicle for the journey. The first man, named Victor, walked into the showroom and immediately fell in love with a bright red sports car. It was beautiful. It had hand-stitched leather seats, a roaring engine, polished chrome, a dashboard full of buttons, a premium sound system, and rims that turned heads on every street. The salesman told him it was fast, powerful, and admired by everyone. Victor ran his hand across the hood and thought, "This is the one. This is success." The second man, named Elias, looked around more carefully. He was not as concerned with what turned heads. He was concerned with what could get him home. So while Victor bought the sports car, Elias chose something very different. He purchased a seat on a private aircraft with an experienced pilot and a clear flight plan straight to Freedom Hill. It was elegant, reliable, and built for one purpose: to take him where he truly wanted to go without wasting his time, energy, and attention. Victor laughed when he heard what Elias had chosen. "You mean you're not even going to drive your own machine?" he asked. "Where's the thrill in that? Where's the control? Where's the status?" Elias simply smiled and said, "I'm not in love with the vehicle, I'm in love with the destination." The next morning, both men began their journeys. Victor started his sports car and blasted down the highway with a grin on his face. The engine growled. People stared. He felt important. He felt accomplished. At first, he told himself he was heading to Freedom Hill. But before long, he became more interested in the car than in where the car was supposed to take him. He stopped often. He stopped to buy premium fuel. He stopped to polish the paint. He stopped to install better speakers. He stopped to replace the rims. He stopped to tint the windows. He stopped at roadside shops for jackets, watches, sunglasses, and things he did not need, simply because they seemed to match the image of a man who drove a car like that. Everywhere he went, people complimented the vehicle. "Beautiful car," they said. "What a machine," they said. "You must be doing well," they said. Victor loved hearing it, so he kept driving, and stopping, and spending, and upgrading, and talking about the car, and showing the car, and maintaining the car, and repairing the car. Because a machine built for speed also demanded a great deal from the man trying to keep it running. The sports car drank fuel. Its tires wore down quickly. Its low frame struggled on rough roads. Small problems turned into expensive repairs. Victor kept telling himself, "Once I take care of this next thing, I'll get serious about reaching Freedom Hill." But there was always a next thing. Meanwhile, Elias arrived at the airfield, placed his bag down, greeted the pilot, and boarded. He did not spend the morning washing the wings. He did not study the engine. He did not insist on flying it himself. He did not stop along the way to impress strangers. He sat down, rested, reviewed his plans, thought about his family, and let the vehicle do what it was designed to do. While Victor was gripping the wheel and watching the fuel gauge, Elias was moving calmly through the sky. While Victor was making side stops, Elias was making progress. While Victor was spending more money on things that added no real value to his life, Elias was conserving his time, his energy, and his resources for what mattered most. By early afternoon, Elias arrived at Freedom Hill. His family ran to greet him. He hugged his wife. He picked up his children. He sat at the table with the people he loved. He laughed. He rested. He watched the sunset from the porch, instead of from behind a windshield. And because he had arrived early, he had time to enjoy the very reason he had taken the journey in the first place. Victor, on the other hand, was still on the road. Years passed. His sports car, once shiny and new, began to age. The seats cracked, the paint faded, the engine lost its roar. the repairs became more frequent. Victor himself began to age too. His hair turned gray, his back stiffened, his hands, once proud on the steering wheel, grew tired. Still, he kept driving. Still, he kept stopping. Still, he kept spending. Still, he kept saying, "I'm on my way." But he had confused motion with progress. He had confused driving with arriving. He had confused the excitement of the vehicle with the purpose of the journey. One day, as he sat at yet another repair shop waiting room, looking through the window at the old sports car he had once worshipped, he finally understood something that had cost him most of his life to learn. The vehicle was supposed to serve the destination. The destination was never supposed to be sacrificed for the vehicle. By then, many of the family gatherings had already happened without him. Many of the dinners had been eaten without him. Many of the memories had been made without him. He had spent his best years maintaining the machine, admiring the machine, feeding the machine, and working for the machine, but he had never truly used it to get where he wanted to go. Elias, meanwhile, had long since settled into life at Freedom Hill, and because he understood that the right vehicle was meant to create freedom, not consume it, he used his resources wisely. What carried him to the destination did not demand his whole life in return. It multiplied his time instead of draining it. It served his purpose instead of becoming his purpose. So he lived the life Victor had once dreamed about. He enjoyed time with family. He had peace. He had margin. He had arrived. And that is the difference between people who become obsessed with the vehicle and people who choose a vehicle for the value it gives their lives. Some people spend their whole lives polishing the thing that is supposed to carry them. Others choose the thing that will actually carry them home. The wise do not ask only, "How beautiful is the vehicle?" They ask, "Will this vehicle get me to freedom while I still have time left to enjoy it?"